story out.
Today, the suspect in an arson case that killed 2 boys was arraigned in a video court appearance. This happened in rural Franklin County, Kentucky, about 30 minutes away from the state capitol. As our Lexington station, ABC's 36 shows us tonight, the man today asked the judge to attend the funerals.
Okay, so this story here reminds me of a story that comes out of John Grisham's Framed. You had Cameron Todd Willingham. They said that Cameron Todd Willingham had set his house on fire and he had killed his kids. He had killed 2 girls, Cameron and Carmen. That's what they said. They said that there was accelerants and there was studies on the floor that they could tell. And then they also had said that his statements had contradicted witness testimonies and some other shit. It's actually incredible how many similarities there are to the case of Cameron Todd Willingham, who was executed in Texas for a crime that never occurred. Cameron Todd Willingham. So let's keep watching this.
Appearing from the Franklin County Jail, 44-year-old Dustin Fields pleaded not guilty during his arraignment this morning.
Okay, do you own any real estate?
I do, but it just went up.
Do you see that judge? That judge was like all the way down at the bottom there.
And all the flames, so there's nothing but grass in the garage at the moment.
As we reported, Fields is accused of killing his 2 teenage sons in a deadly house fire. The sheriff's office says Fields is accused of setting his home on fire on Flat Creek Road last Wednesday. Fields now facing arson charges in the first degree.
I'm going to leave this bond the same. Judge Mann considered it $2 million. I'm going to leave it there.
The large bond comes after deputies say Fields allegedly knew that his 2 sons were inside the home when he allegedly set it on fire. According to the arrest citation, investigators say an ATF canine detected fire accelerants on Fields' shoes. It's something also found inside the home. Well, during the arraignment today, Fields asking to attend his son's funerals.
Is there any chance of me furloughing out for kids' funeral?
At this point, Your Honor, I would object.
That's my voice.
I'll tell you what, you have a lawyer represent you. They can talk to the Commonwealth. They can file a motion. If that's what they want to do, we'll consider it.
A preliminary hearing for Fields is now set for May 13th at 1 p.m. in Lexington, Walker.
So this entire proceedings is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, once you've been arrested, then you're just screwed for life. It doesn't even matter if you're guilty or not. Once you've been arrested, then everybody gets to play the part, right? Everybody gets to be a cop, be a prosecutor, be a judge. I don't know if you saw that video of that judge when he was sitting there, you know, talking to the guy. He's got this tiny little head. That's the judge right there. Does the judge not know how to point the camera at his face? I mean, this is the judge, right? This guy's getting 6 figures. And then I wanted to talk a little bit more about the case with Cameron Todd Willingham. Cameron Todd Willingham, maybe we'll get a picture of him. Cameron Todd Willingham, he had been accused of doing pretty much the same damn thing. But there's just so much evidence that says that that's not what he did. That's not what he did at all. So that's him right there. I don't know if you could tell, but that's, you know, him with his family. And it was Perry. Perry was the damn governor at the time. When they talk about fire accelerants, are you talking about gasoline? Because in this case, they were trying to accuse Cameron Todd Willingham of taking lighter fluid. He took lighter fluid, they said, and then spread it all over the place. But another fire investigator had took a look at the evidence, and this other fire investigator said something completely different. He had said that a lot of times fires look like that. They said, by the way, that the fire was charred on the floor or whatever, that clearly the fire started right here. Most likely the fire in Cameron Todd Willingham's case was started by either A, a space heater, or B, faulty wiring. So he got executed, he got murdered, he got killed. The whole idea of the criminal justice system, they say you have to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt, is that we would rather allow 10 guilty people to go free than to throw 1 innocent life away. That's the whole idea. So you have to be 91% sure. You got to be 91% sure that you know that this guy set his house on fire and killed his kids. It was right before Christmas. They had just gone and got presents and they took a picture. They went to, Kmart or something. They just took, I'm going to say, this family picture right here. And so this guy who's going around taking family pictures is going to just, kill his kids. And then when it came to this guy right here, when they had asked him, he doesn't seem like a terrible person. And then here he's being like all calm, cool, and collected, and he just says, "Can I attend my kid's funeral?" Because what was so fucked up about Cameron Todd Willingham was that not only did he just lose his kids to a bullshit fire, now people are saying that he killed his own fucking kids. If the person did it, then okay, that's one sick monster, right? That goes against nature, goes against mankind, it goes against God to murder your own kids. But you got to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt. And so, what is the evidence? I don't see any of the evidence. It's just, he's accused, he's wearing a jumpsuit, he's in a prison garb, so clearly he just must be guilty because of all those things, right? If you had killed your kids, you wouldn't want to go to the funeral. You wouldn't want to, he seems genuine, he seems honest. And then immediately you heard that prosecutor say, "I would object to that right now." And then a $2 million bond? $2 million bond. He says the only thing he owns was that house. So, $2 million bond. That's a fucking big-ass goddamn bond. Then the 8th Amendment says no excessive fines and no excessive bond. What's it say? No excessive fines and no excessive... I want to say bond. What exactly does it say? Let's pull out the damn Constitution. And what's the damn Constitution say? Well, the Constitution says this. 8th Amendment says, excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted. The reason why they do $2 million bail is so he never gets out of jail. That he's never going to get out of jail. So let's presume him innocent. They have to make a case. I haven't heard any evidence whatsoever except for somebody said the dog had smelled accelerants on his shoes. With Cameron Todd Willingham, he ran back into the house. Cameron Todd Willingham ran back into the house and they had to fight him. He hit a guy who was trying to keep him out of the house. He tried to go save his babies. He said he woke up and there was smoke all over the place and that his daughter had screamed out, for his name. So I can't think of a more fucking sicker goddamn thing that a society could fucking do to a person that just lost their family, lost their kids, and then you're going to, on top of it, say that it was his fault? What would you get out of that? Burning your own fucking house down. What would you get out of that? Do you get insurance money? Is that what it is? He doesn't have a separate home. He doesn't have a other place to go. So this is Dustin Fields, 43, pleaded not guilty to first-degree arson on Monday. And when they say accelerants, why wouldn't they just say gasoline? The dog smelled gasoline. Did any humans smell gasoline? Gasoline smells very particular. You can smell gasoline. Now, if it's just lighter fluid, like that David Cameron, let's see. We got a couple articles here. Let's see if the articles gives us any more information about anything. So it says here he was accused, and then it's just got a video, so it doesn't say anything else. Dustin Fields pleaded not guilty. He said he misses his boys. Does that sound like a person who killed his boys? He misses his boys. When that one guy that had killed his family in Colorado, he never said that. He never said he missed his daughters or missed his wife. Known that the home was occupied by his 2 juvenile sons who sustained fatal injuries. How do you know this? When I look at these fat fuckers just standing around acting like a bunch of assholes, I don't know for sure. There's only one guy, just a firefighter, who's actually doing the work. Here you have, this looks like a lazy construction crew. Just a bunch of assholes who go to the scene and just kind of, talk about this and that. When I think about what Jesus says when it comes to lawyers, Jesus had said that the experts of the law, they'll sit there and put a huge burden on somebody and they won't lift one finger up to help the burden out. So they said it was inconsistent, conflicted with witness statements. This is what they said about that Cameron Willingham. So, take a look at that case. This is in Framed. Framed is such a good book because it's like, how come America's judicial system doesn't work? Cameron Todd Willingham. Cameron Todd Willingham got executed for a crime he did not commit. They said 13-year-old Bentley Fields and 15-year-old Ryland Fields, the teen's cause of death, were not released. Probably the fire, right? He said he missed his boys, and then the bond was kept at $2 million. So they've already convicted him. They've already said that he's guilty, and there is no presumption of innocence. Here's another case. 2 teenagers and a dog were found dead inside burning home. That's real sad, you know. Dustin Fields has been accused of setting fire to his homes where his 2 sons were found deceased. The bodies of Bentley and Ryland Fields were found by police inside a burning Kentucky home. Their father, Dustin Fields, had been arrested on an arson charge. Dustin was arrested after he allegedly gave police conflicting information. Like what? What is this fucking... Basically, they're just letting the accusation stand as the truth. Well, somebody accused him of something. Okay, well, I think you all fucking did it. I think the fucking authorities that were standing around, I think they did it. There, so now you got an accusation. So, therefore, that's it. That's all you need, right, is an accusation. Now we think that the damn authorities did it. You need more than just an accusation. You need evidence. You need eyewitness testimony, videotape. You need evidence. Has there ever been any kind of scenes? I mean, they look well loved. They look well dressed, well loved. Fields was not present at the scene when officers arrived, but showed up a few minutes later. He was arrested after he allegedly gave conflicting information. They didn't say anything further about it. They said he allegedly had accelerant. Does that even sound human? Well, he had some accelerant on his shoes. What kind of accelerant, you fucking asshole? If you know anything about a fire, you know, well, straw is an accelerant. You could just throw a bunch of dead grass on top of the fire. That accelerates the fucking fire. You know what else accelerates a fire? Wood. Wood, so houses are made of wood. You know, accelerant. Was it gasoline? That's different, you know. Say it's gasoline if it was gasoline. They said he had accelerant on his shoes, which were located in different parts of the home, notably near the boys' bodies, according to an arrest citation. So, accelerant on his shoes. There was 2 different shoes in 2 different parts of the house. How would you know that it had accelerant? Didn't the house burn down? How would you know there was accelerant on it? If there is gasoline on the shoes, wouldn't the damn shoes have burnt right the fuck up? And then if it was in different parts of the home, notably near the boy's body, so what are you saying? He went around dousing, you know, the entire house with gasoline, spilled some on his shoes, and then took his shoes off, and then went to the damn grocery store and bought himself a goddamn Mountain Dew, and then came back later being none the wiser? In a GoFundMe, they're trying to remember their passions. They said he loved to fish, made YouTube videos about BFM's outdoors. Ryland was more tech savvy than anything really. Dustin appeared on Zoom during a Franklin County court, entered a plea of not guilty. He reportedly asked the judge if he could be temporarily released. He did. We heard him. He told the judge, I missed my boys. And then that's it. So this isn't an open and shut case. If anything, they really don't have a case whatsoever goddamn ever. They have no evidence whatsoever, except he's being accused, he's being paraded, he's being, shoved around acting like he's the damn guilty person. And then when I look at these people that are, the police officers, this fat fucker, this bald-headed fat fuck, this old fucking fuck, these are the so-called authorities. These are the so-called experts who know what's going on. They just let a double murderer out in Louisville. So these judges don't know what the hell they're doing. Let's watch this again.
Today, the suspect in an arson case that killed 2 boys was arraigned in a video court appearance.
In county jail, 44-year-old Dustin Fields pleaded not guilty during his arraignment this morning.
Okay, do you own any real estate?
I do, but it just went up in all flames, so there's nothing but grass in the garage at the moment.
As we reported, Fields is accused of killing his 2 teenage sons in a deadly house fire. The sheriff's office says Fields is accused of setting his home on fire on Flat Creek Road last Wednesday. Fields now facing arson charges in the first degree.
I'm going to leave this bottom saying Judge Manson said it $2 million. I'm going to leave it there.
The arson in the first degree, why wouldn't they charge him with murder if they thought that he had, set the house on fire intentionally with the kids inside there? They're just arson, not any counts of murder?
Large bond comes after deputies say Fields allegedly knew that his 2 sons were inside the home when he allegedly set it on fire. According to the arrest citation, investigators say an ATF canine detected fire accelerants on Fields' shoes. It's something also found inside the home. Well, during the